excited. It's October 28th, and it's being cleaned. Today's Wednesday. It's being cleaned Thursday. We might even get the keys Thursday, tomorrow evening, but for sure Friday. We're going to Lafayette to pick up some furniture. Justin's on an airplane right now coming here. And no doubt Suzanne is in a panic. they left yesterday early work because they were just exhausted. But it's very, hey, Margot, it's very, very exciting. So my pants are a little on fire because I said I was going to talk about batting and quilting design. Thank you, Margot. I called her up and I said, I don't even know what to do next. My brain is not engaging as it should with everything going on. And then I said to Margot, hey, I'm talking about you. I said to Margot, do you like my quilt without the inner border? Again. She said, well, you're asking the wrong person because she's the queen of inner borders. So I'm going to show you what I've come up with. And I'll tell you, I'm glad I put it out there. I couldn't really see the comments going on, but it is, John said it was 50-50. And so of whether to have an inner border or not have an inner border. And so I started playing around, much to my charang, if that's a word, and I will show you what I came up with, what I think I'm going to do. I think we will all agree this is the right thing to do. But we got a lot to cover today, so I kind of would like to get going, and if you come in late, you can just go watch it from back. You guys keep sending in these fabulous pictures of what you're doing, and it's making my heart sing. I always get nervous in the middle of it, kind of going, I hope I'm steering these people correctly. And yeah, I think I am. You're doing a fabulous job. So this is Carl Near. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Carly. So she Facebooked me and said, you didn't put up my quilt, and I didn't see her quilt, okay? So I'm so happy she reached out to me. Now, this is what you people need to know. This is her second basket quilt, just saying. And she hadn't even seen my coins border. So we decided grapevines think alike. And I do like how she satisfied the corner with the pinwheels. I mean, you could always do that. So thanks for banging me on the head. I appreciate it because I would have missed this. And that would have made me really, really sad because I think this is a totally fun quilt. You must be sitting at that sewing machine 24/7 to have knocked out two of these. Congratulations. So let's see. Okay, this is so-and-so, and she decided to go small, and she's going to use it for her table, probably for Thanksgiving. I forget, but part of it's hand quilted, you guys. So so-and-so, you're kind of an overachiever. I love the little squares in it, and we're going to see more of that today, where it's like, okay, why didn't I think of that? And I love the way those little squares go around that big cherry basket. So thank you for putting that up so we could enjoy. Also, take note of her scrappy binding. That's something I do a lot of the time, actually. My thing is if you can throw more in, do it. And when it tells you to stop, stop. Ooh, that's a hint with what I'm going to be doing back here. So this is CJ Gott. Okay, CJ, I absolutely love this, and okay, I gotta move this over so I can see the whole thing. I am gonna make a suggestion. I would take that upper left dark one, okay, background, and let's go count down 1, spacer 2, over to the right 1. I would think about switching those out. And to me, it's just a little too much for that corner, okay? I love the black background, so it's not like I'm dissing that. I just think that it could be located a little bit more pleasingly. It's like you've got all these light backgrounds and it goes up in that upper left-hand corner. So I think I would do that. Also, Oh, there's not another also. I think these are just beautiful. If you find, you guys, let's say when you're putting the border on and you're like going, oh, I need a little bit more of that dark, consider a pieced border, dumping it into the border a couple times too. So I think this is absolutely beautiful. Congratulations on this. All right. Okay, this is I need one of those ring lights because I'm like blinded. This is CJ's. Let's see what CJ did. And you guys are right. I in the morning when I get up on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I sit down and I look and see what's in the forum because if I do it the night before, forget it. Oh, wait, we just did yours. I'm sorry. Okay, this is KK's. Oh, I just love this basket. Okay, remember, you can put any basket in your quilt that you want. You can put anything in your quilt. But when I was going through the forum, this just stopped me and made me smile and laugh. It is just perfect. How whimsical and wonderful. And honestly, I've not seen this basket pattern before. But I would say to you guys, boo, happy Halloween. All right. And then this is Sarah Sue. Okay, Sarah Sue, congratulations. Those checkerboards in there just sell it. Absolutely sell it. Again, I didn't think of that. I wouldn't have. I would now. Because look, there are a bunch of squares in these baskets. So they're great. And I like the way. Is this the kit? I can't tell if this is the kit or not. I think it is. But you've pushed in even more beiges. Yeah, I think it is the kit. You've pushed in even more. And it's beautiful. Your eye is traveling over the whole darn thing. Okay, and this is in Quilter. Let's see what she's got going on. Uh-oh, looks like it's sideways. Well, let's tilt our head to the left, all right? What she has done is, or maybe it's not. Okay, I don't know if this is right side up or not, but I would get the blocks. I wouldn't have, like, let's say this is right side up, like those cherry basket ones, I wouldn't have them falling down like that. I would kind of get them all going in one direction. Play around with it, okay? But the other thing that Quilter did that is really great, you can see she's added more fabric from her stash into it, and it's pushed more beige into it. It's lovely. It's just more of a range. I have to tell you honestly, in the stack of fabrics, the beige was the hardest for me to use. And that's why I kind of used it sparingly all around the whole thing. But what she has just done is just celebrated it and added more. This is JD. We're coming to JD. Okay, JD wanted to know if she's on the right track. I would say so. I would, if you're going to make more baskets, if you're not, it's fine. But if you're going to make more baskets, I would, okay, let's go on the left-hand side, go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and over one to the right. That is a lighter background, and I would put maybe just a couple more lights in this somewhere just to give it a little more crispness. But I have to tell you that at Asilomar, when I was teaching there, somebody was doing a star quilt, maybe it was even baskets, I forget, in green. And we ended up naming the quilt It's Not Easy Being Green. That, for me, that is a tough monochromatic colorway to work with, and you are nailing it. So congratulations on that. Let's see. Oh, there we go. And then here we have, wait, let me make sure I just moved okay, there we go. Oh, and there's those ones on point again. I don't know if this is the same gal that we were looking at the other day because it was a real small image. I think what you're going to have to do, first of all, it's beautiful. I would love that on my bed. You're going to have to somehow get it so that those inset shapes, those inset triangles, quarter square triangles are the same. You're just going to have to do it, and it's going to take some fiddling. We've seen some fillers that you could put in and all that. But this is lovely, but that is going to be your challenge because see at the bottom, It's all the same, the quarter square triangles. On the top, it's not, and on the left and right. Now, that said, you may come up with a way to do this that will be smashing, and I just can't wait to see what it is. I have the feeling it may end up on that bed too. Okay, and this is K. Murphy. This was the first one I opened up this morning, and it took my breath away. I am not one to love solid fabric borders. I adore this. I adore it. And I was trying in my mind to figure out, why does this work so well? And I think it's because of the scrappiness and everything with what's going on. Now, you guys, this is a beautiful piece of focused fabric. In a million years, let's look at those cherry baskets. In a million years, I would not have put pink into this quilt. Well, guess what? Yeah, because the designer has done it in the fabric. I adore those flying geese around the other two center ones. And then, you know what? If this needs a home, I know where it can go. And I'll do it to you. But also, these are the blocks from the CAFE class. So if this isn't a culmination of both putting both classes put together, I don't know what is. And don't listen to anybody. Don't put an inner border on that. Leave it like it is. Don't you listen to anybody. Just like that. So, okay, I want to show you what I've decided on mine and what my thought process was. And so, Margot, in a sense, this is going to be dedicated to you. I'm going to see if I can move this over. I don't want to screw up my document camera. So what's going to happen, so we keep this halfway timely, is on Friday I'm going to do something with quilting designs, and also how to do you got my flag, how to do a sleeve, okay? So here I just keep, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so the first thing I did, okay, good, was I went and I cut out 1.5 inch finished, because these are 2 inches, so I know I'm not going to throw off the math. I put this up. I've got bolts of this fabric. I love this fabric. It's just too stark. It just does not work. So then one of my favorites in the Edyta thing was these birdies. And to the point of, I asked the girls at work if there was any extra, can I have it? And I did end up with some. So that's great. Okay, so let's put the birdies up. I am going to have to piece it together because it was from Fat Quarters. As you look at my Fat Quarter. And to me, I need a pen. This doesn't do it for me. Now, John's in here watching. This doesn't do it for me. It's just, okay? But then I came up with this.
I'm not sure I don't like that.
Will you just wait, John?
Okay.
So then I thought, all right, what about, oh, no, wait, I'm not going to do that part yet. What about if I piece the inner border so that you have different stuff going on? If one is good, 2 might be better. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know. Let me put, this is all from the collection. Here's another one. Here. I'll hold up the camera to it. Oh, but ta-da, here we go. Let me see if I can undo the document camera. Let me get this over here. Oh, John, turn off the lights. No, that doesn't help. There, you can see I'm piecing it. Okay, I think the light can go back on. Oh, but then I thought of this. Why not periodically put in some little half square triangles in various places? Yes, that's it. That's it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So I'm gonna do some here, probably on all four sides. I'm gonna do it just in a little random, in one place only on each side. So that's what I'm going to do. Why does this keep popping up? There we go. So what do you guys think? I don't want to hear it if you don't like it, because that's what's gonna happen. I'm so happy. Put this back on there. Okay. Did you try the burgundy narrow strips? No, I don't. I want it to float. The burgundy is too much. I'm putting those suckers in, and that's what I'm doing. But this is a case, you guys, of letting it talk to you. And the fact that, Margot, you're the one. She's the one. Okay. Let's talk about batting, all right? Now, here's the situation. There's this much information in the world about batting out there. I'm going to tell you about what I know, okay? Straight up top, I do not know about bamboo. I have not worked with it. I have not worked with silk, but I have seen it and it's lovely. Basically, my knowledge is this. It's polyester, it's cotton, it's 80-20, it's wool. Yeah, that's my breadth of what I can talk about, all right? So back in the day, cotton batting was very different than what it is now. We used it for machine quilting, and it was very hard. You might want to get a pencil. I don't know if it's gonna be that profound what I share. We didn't use it for hand quilting. It was too hard to needle, all right? So, oh no, not a fan of the inner border, but the little pieces make it better. Yes, I know. I just saw a squirrel. So cotton, let's start with that. There we go. So in the olden days, meaning I'm going to say 30 years ago, it was great for machine quilting. Sometimes the manufacturer would have you pre-wash or not pre-wash because, you know, the cotton is going to shrink. The first time I pre-washed cotton, I was scared to death. I thought the whole thing was going to end up like a cotton ball in my washing machine and dryer. It didn't. When you get a batting, always read the instructions of what they tell you to do. They will also tell you how far apart you need to quilt it, you know, and do what they say. Because if you think about it, if you took a cotton ball and like stretched it out and put it in a quilt and you wash it, it would all just go down, right? So you are going to want to read the instructions. Do not get a cheapo bargain brand batting because you will find the loft is not even, all right? And it often has something on the top of it that is like a glaze or a glue or something like that, and it's not lovely. So don't cheap out on your batting. Just don't do it, okay? Then we came out with I was going to put this on I was going to put my document camera on and show you what we've got here. Now, there's really not a lot to look at, only because, I mean, it's kind of like, what can we say, all right? Come on. Why aren't you? Well, there we go. So this is a cotton, and this is actually Quilters Select cotton, and I'm kind of excited that we have a bigger warehouse because we probably can start selling it. But anyways, in the olden days, it was tough to needle if you were hand quilting. This is pretty good. So then we have, and they're out there, 80-20. Hobbs is the one that comes to mind before ours. 80-20 is 80% cotton, 20% polyester. And it is easier to needle. And so if you really wanted to have a quilt that has a cotton batting, and let's say you want a hand quilt, you could go to this particular batting, an 80-20. Now, the reason you might use a cotton over a polyester, it just has a different drape. A trained eye can look at it and tell you what it is. Now, the other thing that The other one, okay, so when do I use, sorry, you can tell I'm really prepared for this. When do you use 100% versus something with a little poly in it? If you're going to do high density quilting and or beading and or really giving it the what, I would do the 80-20. In the case of this, it's a select soft blend batting. There's an Hobbs, it's an 80-20. If it's going to be just more standard use, you might consider the regular 100% cotton. And really, truly, batting has come a really long way. Now, there's something called bearding that goes on. And bearding is when the cotton or the batting comes through the top surface, all right? Cotton beards less, and it's because it is a natural fiber that can break. Polyester is kind of a continuous fiber. I'm not an expert at this. In the olden days, when I hand quilted, I would use Mountain Mist Light. I wanted a very low loft. This was for hand quilting, and it was very, very easy to needle. In fact, in the way olden days that I didn't even make that, I would take the bat and split it, okay? Now what I would use for hand quilting, note what I would use for hand quilting is wool. Wool is beautiful to work with, absolutely lovely. It breathes. It will work whether it's winter, whether it's summer. Our wool is phenomenal to needle through. I tried it with machine quilting. I called Paula Reed and said, can I use wool for machine quilting? She said, sure. I like the results of the cotton better. And some people, but for machine quilting, would put the wool and a cotton together. Some long arm people do that because they just want a little bit more loft. Ours is New Zealand wool and there's 0 additives to it. So that's pretty fabulous. Then I want to talk about Warm and Natural. Paula Reed called and she is retiring, and she used to do a lot of my quilts for me and she would use Warm and Natural, and she had bolts of it in her garage. And so if I had to purchase X amount, she would send me the leftovers. And so if I was doing a small project, I would go grab the leftovers from Paula. And with the Warm and Natural, it's very difficult to hand quilt through. So if you're going to hand quilt, don't use that. But what it's really good for is it's a little heavier, and if the quilt is a little bit wonky, it can be whipped into shape easier. And I asked Paula, why do you use Warm and Natural? And that's why she used it, because she was doing clients' quilts and she couldn't really control what was coming through her door. The other thing with Warm and Natural the reason I stopped using it, this is crazy, is because it's heavy. And so in the olden days, like a year ago, when I used to travel and take quilts with me, it would take up more space in my suitcase and it was heavier. So a lot of people use that and they think it's, great. For me, it doesn't fit. Then, okay, back to polyester with the bearding. So let's say I was doing a black quilt with a lot of black fabric. Because bearding is the gift that keeps on coming with polyester, what about black bat? So I asked the Cotton Patch. That was my go-to store in Lafayette, California. Still there. It's a great store when I lived in Pinole. And I said, why don't we do the black batting? And I believe Hobbs used to make it. They might very well still do. And she said, my fear with black batting, because I used to do a lot of black quilts, like with little colorful stars, or like solid fabrics like yellow stars and that. She said, you put that black batting inside there and it is going to dull down the fabric on top. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But if you were doing a quilt that was black, and I mean all dark colors, and you were going to hand quilt and you wanted a poly, that might be the way to go. The other thing is that if you have a light colored quilt with a lot of white in it, Make sure your backing is light also. I'm one to piece backings together just to use up fabric. But if, like with our basket quilt, there's a lot of light in that cherry basket. So I want to make sure my backing doesn't come through. With polyester, the color is going to come through more than, let's say, a cotton. I would be concerned about a wool, but as you make your backing and you choose your batting, you want to make sure that when you layer it, the back color does not come through. I hand quilted a quilt 100 years ago, and there was a lot of white in it. And it was an airplane quilt, and I found the coolest airplane fabric on the face of the earth, but the background of it was red. And so what happened was I just kept hand stitching, and the color kept coming through. And I kept thinking, it's really not gonna be that bad. It was really that bad. So in retrospect, I should have had a light backing. So the upshot is when you choose your batting, make sure that the back color does not ghost through, okay? So do we have any questions? I mean, that's just nutshell. The battings have really come a long way, and it's wonderful to see how the industry has embraced battings and how they're making them better and better and better and better. My very first quilt was I had Laura Ashley upholstery fabric on the back and batting with cotton seeds. It was a miracle I still quilt today because it was darn near impossible to hand quilt through. So, okay, Warm Companies. I love Warm Companies, bright and, okay, I didn't see that. Okay, what is a perfect batting for a large t-shirt quilt? I would go lightweight. I would use mine, the stuff at Quilters Select, but of course I can't sell it to you yet. So I would look at, I'm doing a brain. Come on, help me out, you guys. Dream batting or whatever comes in a very lightweight. I would do very, very lightweight, okay? How do you thread between needles? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to snort. With a needle threader, or you get a kid at your house to do it. They are small. Let me show you what I just bought. Let me show you. I'll be right back. I love that. I just a couple weeks ago on Amazon bought all of these. It did not come in the tin, but I use this for my Q20. It's very, very fine. You can use something like this. I actually bought another kind of needle threader, and I didn't like it as much as these cheapos. You get like a bazillion for $10. So that made me smile. Totally. What batting would I use for a tabletop or hand quilted? I would use something very thin. I would use, I don't know that I would use anything, honestly. Why would you use anything? Because then it's just going to come up a little bit. I might think about just quilting it with nothing, maybe. But something thin. Can you get Quilters Select wool by the roll for long armors? Yes, I believe you can. What I would do if I were you is write this down, please. Call RNK Distributing in Knoxville, Tennessee. Ask for Bree. She is in charge of all the Quilters Select. And I do know battings come on rolls. She can help you. I don't want to answer that one. What about 60/40? Carol asked. I don't know about that. I haven't worked with it. That might be interesting. I don't know who makes that. Are you going around the corners with the half squares or just the two corner tops and bottom? I don't know. I will put it up and play. Okay. Judy likes the inner border, but put the small pieces up by the handle on the big basket at 2 o'clock. Yeah, I'll give that a try. I love it. We're all taking care of each other, aren't we? So here's more. Let me look at, I use flannel for my table toppers. Needed to spray adhesive for it. Okay, Pellon makes the 80/40. Used it just fine for machine quilting. Here's the upshot, you guys. Just stay away from cheap batting. Just stay away. And it's not like batting. It's not like you're buying the Taj Mahal. But I was at a craft show down in Los Angeles. I can't remember. They don't even have it anymore. And I was there, I think, with C&T Publishing right next to a batting company. And it was an inexpensive batting company. I can't even remember the name. And so I'm leaving. I think my book, Hand Quilting, might have just come out. And I was leaving, and the lady goes, "So what batting do you use?" And I thought, oh my God, she's going to kill me. I was obviously in hostile territory. So if you felt cheap batting, you could get snags on your hands from it, okay? When there's such beautiful stuff out there, just use it. Your quilt deserves it. Yes, John?
There is no 80/40, it's 60/40.
Oh, there is no 80/40. It's 60/40. You want me to do your taxes for you? I wonder if poly felt would work for a table runner. I don't know about that, but that's the other thing, you guys, what I do too, is when if you're going to get your poly felt or whatever from a store, just take a needle with you and just needle it. And that will tell you everything. Even if you're not hand quilting, it will tell you everything. The poly felt stuff, I don't know. I don't know. But I just know that this stuff is really thin and I love it. I love, love, love it. Off topic, where do you get your shirts? I love them. The brand is Johnny Was, WAS. They are $1 million unless you get them on sale. And the ticket is you wait until they go on sale, and then often, once in a blue moon, they'll add like another 70% off. And then that's when you get in there and you go crazy. I love them too. Okay, bamboo. Somebody just said too about bamboo. I haven't played with it. I just have not played with it. So, I don't want to say. Okay, so this is what's happening today. Justin is getting in to Oakland Airport at about noon. He's going to come over out to the Alden Lane warehouse to do whatever Suzanne tells him to do. I'm not sure what's happening tomorrow. Friday, I don't have that much to say about quilting, but I do have a philosophy when I have something that's this busy, so I'll do that. And then also I'll show you how to do a sleeve. Monday, I'm taking off because that's the day the movers actually come, okay? And then I just turned my calendar and I realized in Tennessee, I have a gig on Tuesday. And so that's when the real work is going to be starting in the warehouse. So I get to be with you guys. I will be doing a lecture, I think like 7 in my morning or 8. I'm not sure if we're 2 hours or 3 hours. I'll have to figure that out. And then we're doing a little workshop. And then on Wednesday, I'll be back and we'll be starting with faces. And our avatars. And we're going to be, I'm not going to, I kind of have it planned out in my mind. Now, the big news is that this Sunday, the 1st of November, we're going to do the BOM reveal. And it's going to be 1 o'clock Pacific time. Sunday, 1 o'clock Pacific time. And we're going to try and get Ricky in on this. He is really in nowhere land. And I mean, you can't even call him on the phone. You have to FaceTime him. And we were trying to work this out yesterday. He's going to go down to Levita and just light a candle that he can get in on this, because we are corporately, all of us so excited about this BOM, we can't stand it. And one other thing I want to say, our newsletter is sent out via another service. And some of you are having a hard time getting it. Did you know that on thequiltshow.com, if you just go up to the daily blog, when the newsletter goes out, that is what resides there. So just like if I want to check the news, I go to ktvu.com every morning and I just look. And I believe our newsletters come out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So if I got that wrong, yikes. But if you're not getting the newsletter, of course, look in your spam. And but that's another way you can get it. We are constantly generating new content for you. And my hat's off to Mary Kay and Lucas, her son Lucas, because they really, they're the magician with the rabbit in the hat. Okay. So, okay. Oh yeah. And Sunday, if you're a daylight savings person, spring forward, fall back. No, yeah, spring forward, fall back. You get to sleep an extra hour. Yay! So I will see you guys Friday. Okay, Diane, on Facebook, online. Okay, if we're talking about the TQS newsletter, it's online. It's thequiltshow.com online. And at a minimum, become a free member because that's when you get your newsletter. But you can join for really cheap right now with COVID, $19.95 for 6 months. And I believe after you see the BOM, that's one of the perks of being a star member. When you see the BOM, I think some of you who have been hesitant, like for whatever reason, to join, I think this may just have you turn the tide on that decision. So, okay, and then the Hanukkah, Christmas. Tell you what, you guys, I will show that on Wednesday because you're going to need a couple things. It'll give you time to get it. All right. So we're kind of in the middle of a hurricane. Put my hands down. We're kind of in the middle of a hurricane right now, and we're in the eye of it at TQS. So light a candle for us, hold a good thought. And I so appreciate you deciding to spend your time with me. So have a good one. Bye-bye. Off to make a good soup for tonight.